Hello. Hello. What was that thing I was about to write down? I was about to write down something. Oh, go to the library. Library. Oh, and I found out how to spell boundaries as well. It's boundaries, not boundaries, like with a little thing in it. So if any of you who are watching the TikTok live or the YouTube live where I was writing down the words habits and boundaries and then I stopped, I found out how to spell it. And I know how to use them. Do you know how to use boundaries? Like a little fence? Thank you, Jamie. I guess I'm having a good hair day. Um, Here's the funny thing. I will share 100% with you guys. And I don't, it's no big deal. I had a client who was telling me how during the declutter parties, how she doesn't feel comfortable putting on her camera because she's not showered and dressed and all that, or you know what I mean, like zhuzhed up for the day. And I said, you would be surprised at the double digit percentage times when I show up on YouTube and TikTok live and I have not done my hair, I have not taken a shower. Sometimes I'm still in my pajamas. I do that as practice to get comfortable with. People are going to like you whether you've taken a shower or not. Now, I also make sure I don't smell, but thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. So good morning, Oceanana. Good morning. Let's see, who do we have here? Shall we do the romper room roll call, as I like to say? So who do we have here? We've got Shannon and Jamie and Blonde Cheryl 60 and Star Queen and Hawkeye and Jamie, and again I'm saying that, and Adrian and Oceanana and user 82674 time 8675309. There we go. Hey, Judy, nice to see you, and damn it, Donna. I will always say it like that. So Judy Dukes, and damn it, Donna. Good morning. And hey, I have my extra large cup mug, as you were, of tea here because I'm going to be doing lives for 2 hours, 11 to 12 here on TikTok, and then we're going to change the station and go to YouTube for an hour. So I got myself going. Gigi Gina, nice to see you. And hey, Pinky Silver Chloe, nice to see you. Very cool. Who's your mama and who's your daddy? It just cracks me up. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So, good stuff. Has good stuff happened to you already today? Good stuff has happened to me. Hey, I love this one. Guess who finally made her eye appointment and finished her eye exam? That would be German Maid 95. Yay, everybody. Rock on for taking care of your physical body. Yeah, I just returned from a doctor's appointment myself, and I'm feeling good about the report. So yay for feeling good physically. PM11208, I know who that is. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. And nice to see some of the people that were at the declutter parties. Even, what was it, just yesterday? Because today's only Tuesday. So nice to see everyone. Yay. Cat Mama is ready. Jennifer Wu, good morning. It's a great day. Yeah, you know what? Good stuff. Beth is on for 2 hours. Yeah, I've paced myself. I hear, you know how I talk about making sure you feel good physically before you start anything. A quick scan from the top of your head down to the bottom of your feet. Well, I got down to about, let's just say, discreetly below my belly button, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to sit at my desk for 2 hours unless I do something from the belly button down. Again, I'm being mindful and demure when I say it. So notice that how you feel physically and what can you do to change it, right? PM, I'll just call you PM. How's that? Because the numbers. Breathing first, yes. Scanning down for your physical body, and also while you're doing that, breathing down. Breathing down, slowing down, calming down, quieting down the voice in your head, slowing down the voice in your head. Slow down, I can't even hear you. Have you ever tried to write down the things in your head as quickly as your head says them? I don't care what kind of shorthand you take. Your physical body cannot keep up with the speed in which the brain sometimes speaks. This is why instead of speeding your body up to try to match it, let's slow down the internal body and calm down and quiet down and slow down and calm down. What's the other one? Downtime. I love that. So giving yourself some downtime. Good stuff. Good stuff, yes. And notice the words we use. Breathing first, says PM. Otherwise, I will be a spinning top, bouncing all over. Yeah, other people call it ping-ponging or pinballing, bopping, bouncing around from one place to another. Notice the difference. You can choose. You have a choice. Hey, LBD, nice to see you. You have a choice. Because we're giving you the tools right now to do something different. If you are feeling like you're ping-ponging off the walls and stuff, sit down with me, won't you? Drink down some water. How about every time I say down, you drink a sip of water? You can't drink very fast. You can only drink a sip of water at the pace that your body allows you, or else you're going to drown yourself. Sitting down, quieting down, chunking down, writing down. Just think of that word down and how you can apply it to calm yourself down. Even muscularly, Shoulders up? No, shoulders down. Maybe you're collapsed down over there, but maybe it would feel better to, sit up a little bit straighter. Oh, Maria, thank you for liking my earrings. Yeah, it's funny how you don't see me kind of fully ready for the day when I show on here. But yeah, thank you. I really like these too. They're my everyday ones because they have a little bit of a clip in the back so they don't fall out like the glamorous ones that my friend made me. But thank you. Also, I know I'm not going to be putting in my earbuds, so I'm wearing them too. So hey, Cat Roby's in the house. Schedule Beth Blinders. That's what Cat Roby does. What do you want to do with the time we're spending together? What's going to be the best thing for you? What's going to make you feel better at noontime today if we start it right now? Now, Cat Roby likes to use the time that I'm doing these TikTok lives and YouTube lives. And she says, finishing getting construction figures for contractor. And then 3 hotspot areas on the desk to clear. Let's go. So she's ready to hit the ground running. I love it. In case we haven't met before, too, I just realized I sometimes come in kind of hot, coming in hot, as my friend Tom would say. But let's slow things down. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. And my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. Now, my hair is shorter. And what I want to say is, if you look behind me, I have this vision, this image of a road trip. We are always where you were here, now you're on your way towards your destination, And that's what somebody says, yeah, Patty, please. I think that's one of the reasons that Cat Roby says that. Scheduled Beth Blinders. So when I have scheduled this TikTok live and YouTube live, she shows up too. And then she's got an idea of what she wants to accomplish, and she puts the blinders on, again, like a boundary, so that she's focusing down on what she has written down, so she can get it done, so she stops ping-ponging around. So sitting down, quieting down, writing down, and focusing down on what you're going to do. So we're here to exchange information that works. That's why I show up here. I mean, if this was really like an infomercial, I'd be heavily telling you every 15 minutes about my one-on-one paid coaching and all that, and I'd be kind of gatekeeping the good stuff for the people who pay me. No, I'm not going to do that. The people who pay me just get it more specific for them, and they get the one-on-one time with me. That's worth money, okay? But in the meantime, I like to show up, and this is I don't know, what do you want to call it? I was thinking of the word philanthropist. I was thinking of the word volunteer. Just helping people who are struggling with clutter. Okay? I love it. Blonde Cheryl is folding laundry and listening. Jennifer Wu is going to be cutting and pinning fabric today for outdoor cushions. I admire the crafty people like nobody's business. Very cool. Alrighty. So PM did a lot of mental and paperwork this morning. Awesome. Now decluttering and prep. Good. Sue is chiming in. She has got something specific to do. She set aside 2 hours. 1, put the laundry away, and 2, declutter boxes to the recycle bin, and 3, to do a closet tidy. There we go. Maria is decluttering a whole bookshelf while here. You always inspire us. Thank you. And mitzvah, I think that's a good thing. So thank you, Ellen. Ellen. I think one of my clients had a dog named Mitzvah. Yeah, very cool. Community gift. I love that. Yeah. It's like the community chest when you're playing Monopoly, right? Okay, now Coffee and Chaos is going through old pictures and boxes to organize them better. And so all of this, everything you're doing right now is going to help you declutter. And yay. Yay for using your time for something that's going to make you feel better. I love this. LBD says, tomorrow starts a major bathroom and bedroom decluttering, and you're paying a friend to help. Yeah. Notice the difference when you think you're doing it alone. Notice the difference when you get help. And man, notice the difference when you pay somebody to show up and help you. There is a subtle yet powerful dynamic. Do not ignore the dynamic that money introduces into a transaction. And use it for good. It means you're both going to be making sure you got your money's worth. She's going to ideally show up to earn her money, to feel good about what she did, so she feels good about getting the money. And you're going to feel good about you guys spending the time together, so you're going to feel good about spending it. Spending and receiving money can feel wonderful. It can also feel all sorts of ways, but let's focus on the wonderful part, right? So I love that. Getting help with what you are struggling with. Not being afraid to notice what you want, write it down, and ask for it. You ask for it, you got it, Toyota. Where's my microphone? Where's my Mr. Microphone? I'm on the radio. I love it. Hey, pretty lady, we'll be back to pick you up later. Right? Thank you. This is just in case I burst in. I feel like Kermit the Frog here on Sesame Street News. That's been popping up a lot on my TikTok. Do 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 do. Kermie, one of my first crushes. Such a nice guy. But I digress. You guys, let's have fun. Let's have fun, but let's get some stuff done. Okay? Now I love this. Cat Roby is enumerating my task. I have 5 fixtures left to find. Now, if I was thinking of Sesame Street, or was it, I think there are 5 people in my family, and there's not one of them I'd swap. There is a sister and a brother and a mother and a pop, and obviously the person who's singing. 5 people in my family. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 fixtures I gotta find. Yeah. Here's, damn it, Donna says mine too. I was a Fozzie gal. Oh, trust me, Jennifer Wu. Jennifer Wu, I feel like I always joke about this, that I went to the Fozzie Bear School of comedy. Because I'm always doing the little kind of vaudeville level things and yet waka waka and all that. There we go. I've got 5 fixtures left. I'm doing the count. 5 fixtures left. Here's a powerful tool that Cat Roby is illustrating to use. When you assign a number to something, it makes it more real. Now, this can feel overwhelming, but then we just chunk down the number. Or it can also get it, instead of feeling some vague word like everything and so many and too much and all that, you're like, okay, I have to find 5 more fixtures. Okay? Now, I love it. Judy says I get to listen to half of your live, and then I'm decluttering my mind with a mental health appointment. Yay for taking care of your mental health with a mental health professional. Yay. I love that, Judy. I am so proud. You know? So good, everybody. If I do nothing here, I do this sometimes. I'm doing the TikToks, and then I'm reaching, and I'm wondering why I'm wondering why the mouse is not moving the stuff on my phone. It's because I'm on my phone, and I have to go like this. Waka waka. It happens. All right? So, now I love this. Patty is noticing what's helping her stay focused. She needed a couple of things at Home Depot, so she used the app to put in the car, and then she went to the store and got it because the app tells you what aisle and bin so as to not get distracted. She goes in and she goes out. Shopping lists, people. Shopping lists help declutter your mind. A shopping list makes it easier for you to go to the Market Basket, to Dumula's, to Star Market, to Acme, to wherever you shop. Having a list in front of you keeps you focused on just what you want and not being distracted by all the other things that are kind of throwing themselves in your way. Okay? So, I love this. User 4607, I missed something because everything was scrolling here. Let me just see if I can go back here. Coffee and Chaos. Okay, good stuff. Doodly doo 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 doo. Okay, Maria says, I found a bunch of articles I used to write for a newspaper. What should I do with them? Well, what do you want to do with them? I have a few ideas because I found some articles, so I can tell you what I did. But I ask you, what would you like to do with them? And listen for your answer. Notice, I'm giving you some quiet to listen to your answer. Write down the answer. Sometimes it helps to discover why you saved them in the first place. Now, the more I coach and the more I live, the more I realize, honest to God, that a lot of the stuff I have saved is proof. Think of paper and think of proof. I like it when things begin with the same letter. Think of paper proof. What do those articles, what do they prove, and who are they proving it to? Now, I've done a couple of things with my articles. I have taken pictures of them. So they're on my digital, so I have a digital copy. I actually have, there's somewhere on the internet, there is a blog that I actually cut and pasted at a certain point, all of the articles and ads that I designed for this zine that I was part of in the mid-aughts, right? Like 2002 to plus, 2002 to like 2005. I also, honestly, I did it a few months ago. I saved an entire like magazine with just my one article in it. And then I realized it was taking up this amount of room. So what I also did was I cut out my articles. And so I have a stack about that big. It proves to me that what I wrote was something that somebody was willing to publish. It proves to me that I could create something and that maybe it was, I prove it to others. Look at me, I'm a published writer, right? You could frame them, offers Katie, but here, I used to work in a frame store. I want you all to be very cautious about what you frame because I think many of us are finding out that framed items are much more harder to declutter than unframed items. So when you frame something, port yourself out until 50 years from now. Will you still want it? Now, I used to work in a frame store, so I have a number of things that in that time, I got like free framing or whatever, or highly discounted framing. And I framed things that I liked up on my wall for a while, but then I got kind of tired of them. Be careful what you frame, but also if you are struggling with decluttering something that is in a frame, take it out of the frame and see how you feel about it. Break the spell of the frame. Once you decouple the item from the frame, you can do something with the frame and something with the item. Okay? So I hope that helps. Now, user 4607 says, cleaning out a house after her passing, nothing more motivating to declutter my own life. Yes. When you have to deal with somebody else's stuff, it makes you take a judicious eye. That's what popped into my head, so I'm going to say it. A real hard look at your own stuff and say, okay, do I want to leave this for somebody else or even just myself? And the answer might be no. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so Maria, notice, I don't want to see those yellow papers anymore. That is fine. You don't have to if you don't want to. Okay? Yeah. Now, Okie Teacher, nice to see you. I thought of you when I was in Taos. Oh, I love that. Thank you. I had water with fresh limes and cucumbers. Oh, that sounds so refreshing. So much so that I'm going to put down my cup of hot tea. I'm going to drink some plain water, but I'm going to pretend it has fresh limes and cucumbers in it. Join me, won't you? So good. And we were just in Taos recently. Kat Roby, she went from five fixtures to 3. I am the count. Now, Okie Teacher says, I got rid of all my tabletop frames. I have one digital frame. What a good idea. So then you don't get bored with what's there. I mean, not to sound like fickle, but is it something that I will want to look at for years? Now, I am looking directly at something that I had framed within the past year, and it's holding up. It's a little, here, I'll show it to you. I don't know if you can see it. Wait, no, that's my travel calendar. See that right there? I made that. So when I see that, I love the sentiment, and I love an evidence of me being crafty. Okay? So be mindful. Just be mindful of what you frame now to say, will I want to have this hanging in my house for the next 20 years? And see what comes up. Now, I love that idea of digital frames. You know, what a cool idea. I never thought of that myself, but I'll keep it in mind. So thank you for sharing. Okay? What else do we got here? I've got a picture in front of me of something I took a picture of. Let me close that. Notice that what you look at makes you feel a certain way. I often have, you know why? I have something that's inspiring in front of me. Trust yourself. I have a big calendar with Post-it notes on it, and the only Post-it notes on it are days that I am traveling. I love looking at that. I have a stretched canvas of a photograph I took in Palm Springs, one of my favorite places on the planet. I love looking at it. I don't get tired of it. So look at these things. Think of what you wouldn't mind, that you would enjoy gazing at for quite a while. Now, your tastes may change. We've been in this house for 20 years. I'm pushing 60, as they say. So there are what do I want to say, seasons that you go through in your life. Oh, I just realized. There we go. There are seasons of stuff that you were interested in at a certain time, and now it was more of like a fad than a long-term thing. That's okay. That's okay. What season are you in now? It must be the season of the witch, as my husband might sing. Kara's Garden, hell's a poppin', yes. 60 is the new 40. You know it. I love the fact that our generation is showing people how to still have a young spirit as opposed to an old, like nothing wrong with an old soul. But I am amazed, I am delighted at the fact that my spirit is still as youthful as I want it to be. My body, not so much, but that I'm not turning into an old lady. That I am still doing the things I love, having fun with my friends, hanging out with like-minded spirits, you know? Damn it, Donna, congratulations. One daughter just announced she's pregnant. Congratulations. You're going to be a G. Yo, G. Love that, you know? Now, I love that. One thing I will say too is also be careful of the seasons, because to everything turn, as it were. The reason I mention this is because I got an email moments before I tuned in today, and it was a sad email that one of my favorite stores, again in Palm Springs, is closing. They lost their lease, and they're not going out of business, but they're not having their showroom at the one that I've gone to for the past 15 years, maybe 10 years, 11, regardless. I should really do the math on that. Doesn't matter. Know that not everything lasts. I love the fact that when I remind myself of this and say, what if this place wasn't there anymore? What if I was never able to come back here? Would I do anything different? And so the last time I was at that shop, I bought a pair of pillows for our patio so I could get that Palm Springs vibe in our patio. It's a pattern that you don't often see on the East Coast. I am so glad I bought them, especially because that shop's not going to be there anymore, so it's going to be a memory of that. So notice what's going to be important to you. What's the story of the things that you save? Is it a good story? Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Is it a good story? Is it a not so good story? And I just say to you, please, life is too short to save the bad stories. Life is too short to even conjure them up and give them any energy in your brain, in your heart, in your nervous system, in your mind. Self-preservation. This does not mean, however, that you put your head in the sand. Okay? Elle is asking what's the name of the store. I'll tell you, it's called H3K. I kind of don't know what it stands for. H3K. If you look at their homepage, it's up on my thing because honestly, I am going to look through because they're having a 20% off sign. And I'm just going to love looking at those pictures and seeing if anything, appeals to me. There are serious things going on in the world. There is unrest, manufactured unrest in LA. There are rights being taken away from people. There are serious things going on. Do not ignore them. Let them inform you. But let them inform you, but not overwhelm you. Now, this is the same thing with decluttering. If you get overwhelmed, you may do nothing. Declutter-wise. Otherwise, right? But when you realize that overwhelm is just a state of mind, New York state of mind, I'm in a New York state of mind, and a nervous system state, you can change that and then feel better and do something better. Even if you are unable to go put your body on the line or be in solidarity physically with things that you care about, you can donate money to the people who are able to get there. This weekend, there's all sorts of counter protests going on. The Pope's doing something. I will be at a graduation, but you bet your sweet bippy, I've got my donations are recurring, Now, I am mentioning politics, Carla, because I think it's important to notice that we do not live in a bubble. And also, frankly, that the skills I teach you to help you declutter your home are life skills that teach you how to change what you don't like outside of your home. If you do not align with that, if you don't like my approach, that's okay with me. You're not bound to stay here. But I share this from a place of love for my fellow person and humanity, okay? That you can do something. Feeling powerless is a sucky feeling. You don't have power over everything, but you have power over some things. So let's remind yourself of that and show yourself how to use it so you can have a less cluttered bedroom. Okay? So that's my approach. I think that's my comfort. I don't get in deep about it, but I want you to know where I'm coming from. I mean, if the fact that I have short hair, I live on the East Coast and wear glasses and black all the time, does not just by visuals indicate where my alliances lay. But I also am here for everybody to learn that fear makes you do things that if you were not in a fearful state, you might do something different. Instead of fear and love, how about love? Right? Now, I am no hippie. Again, you can see my hair. I am not a hippie. However, what I want to offer is love is an important feeling. And that is the feeling we go for when we're afraid of decluttering. Okay? When we're afraid of something, we are not using the best parts of our brain and our soul to make a decision when we are in fear mode. When you are afraid of throwing away or you are afraid of letting go of that table your grandmother gave you, that's fear is keeping you hanging on to something else. Whereas if you did not feel afraid that something bad was going to happen to you, you would do something else. Okay? And so we do not, this is when I say, kind of chunk down and focus down. It does not mean put your head down in the sand. No. It's saying, hey, this is an important life skill to have. What do I want? Listen to what you want and how can I get it, without harming other people. Okay? Yeah, and I love it, Therapy Gal Sue. She says, my adult daughter says older generations say politics. Their generation says life, priority, and values. 100%. I have never been political until, the past 10 plus years actively. However, it isn't about politics to me. It's about people and the quality of life and treating people with love and respect. And let's use our skills of decluttering and practice them in the safety of your own home. Saying to yourself, what do I want and how can I get it? And not by doing it in a way that does not negatively impact other people. If that means I need to pay twice as much for my t-shirt because it's not being made by slave labor, so be it. Maybe I have one t-shirt at, two t-shirts as opposed to 20 cheap ones. Now, Maria, okay, let me help you with this. Maria is saying, now my living room is a mess. Help. The bookshelf is empty. Okay, so here's a fun thing. Let's talk about decluttering for a while. I want you to think of this portion of the decluttering process. Decluttering is a process. You started with a shelf of books. Now the shelf is empty, but you've probably got books all over the place. This is like chocolate chip cookie time. You had chocolate chips in a bag and an egg in a shell and a cup full of sugar, and now you've got stuff all over the counter as you're making something that you want. Maria, this is now the time, and you may not be able to do this as I'm chatting in your ear, or it may help you to have this company with you while you do this. Now it is not a mess. Now is the time for decluttering. Decluttering is decision making. Okay? Decluttering is decision making. Decluttering is saying, what is this book? Do I want it or not? And if I want it, it goes back on the shelf. And if I don't want it, I'm going to put it in a box and donate it somewhere. Okay? So go through your books, and you don't do it all. This is one of the reasons when you're going through. So you're doing stored clutter. Now, stored clutter is just, you have a bunch of books that are like this, stored in a finite space. You've spread them out so you can see them, so you can make a decision on them. Now, I will share with you. We have 3 full bookcases in our living room. I cannot tell you the last time I even took one of those books out. But I know I like how they look. I know I want to keep some of them. And if I took too many of them out, this is the thing about containers. It would look like I was missing teeth. It would look like empty shelves, and I don't want that. So I like how it looks. I'm fine with it. However, if I were to move, so I like the quality and quantity of books. And if I get more books, I'm going to take out some so they don't overwhelm. I'm just right with where I am. If I was moving, I might change that. So Maria, just look at the books. Look at the categories of books you have. Okay? Okay, so notice what you're doing already. Books and little other things, vases, etc. Okay, categorizing. Categorizing is going to help your brain. It's going to batch the decision-making operation a little bit. So Maria, I would offer to you, put your books in one area, and I'm imagining you, I don't know, like sitting on a floor or right in front of you. Books are over here, tchotchkes are over here. Go through them one at a time. Break the spell of the entire shelf and ask yourself, hold up the one item, do I want this? What is this? Do I want it or not? And listen to your answer. Do I want this little tchotchke? The answer can be yes, and the answer can be no. It's up to you. Okay? Chunking it down. You are exactly where you're supposed to be in the decluttering process, which is having stuff spread out so you can make decisions. And who was it? Allure Interiors. Is the decision-making that's so hard? The decision-making so hard? Decision-making is hard if you make it hard. If you tell yourself something is going to be hard or difficult, it will feel hard and difficult. But the more you practice making decisions and reaping the benefits from it, the easier it becomes to be clear on your decisions. Saying, this decision is going to get me this result. Okay? Practice making decisions. And this is why all of us, are starting small in our homes, in one room of our house with one shelf of books. That if it's like going to the gym. If you don't use your decision-making muscle, it's going to get flabby. But the more you use it, even with little decisions, then you're going to be stronger to make bigger decisions. It will not be hard. It will be the way you approach the world. Okay? Do not tell yourself something's going to be hard. You're going to look for all the ways it is. Just approach it with a neutral outlook and see where it's easy sometimes. Okay? I hope that helps. Okay. Now, Elle says, do you have any ideas about financial decluttering? Managing money impacts so many of our lives. I do. I do. Now, I'm not a financial planner, and I too, I will be honest with you, and am finally in my freaking 50s examining my relationship with money, examining how the lack of money makes me feel, and examining how the abundance of money makes me feel. Examining and feeling how it feels when I make a good investment or one that just doesn't work out. Notice, do not deny the intersection of what your decisions are and where money shows up there. Okay? Now, Elle, I would love to talk more about that. Do you have anything more specific I can help you? Like financial decluttering. Okay, it might be that you make sure that you don't have you have manageable debt, or ideally no debt at all. How can you, and I mean seriously, when you are decluttering, one of the things you're going to notice is how much money you spend on stuff that you end up giving away. And maybe what you do is, instead of buying it and then just giving it away, you stop some of the buying, you slow down the spending of the money, and then you feel good with what you have. I will share with you guys in true transparency, I am doing okay financially for the first time in a long time. And it's intersecting with at a time in my life where I don't feel the burning desire to buy a lot of things as I did before when I had no money. So it's kind of comical, the fact that I've got more money than I've had before, and yet I don't have the desire to buy. I'm happy with what I have. Now, as you say, it's not going to stop me from looking at the H3K thing and saying, is there anything I need? But I'm not going to buy it just because it's on sale. I'm going to buy it if it adds delight to my life and I have a specific place for it. I'm getting very particular about what I buy and when I buy it. I am no longer trash picking. Unless I drive by and there's a Bertoya chair, I will pick that up. Okay? Alrighty. So Beautiful Disaster is bringing this up too. Shopping addiction. I am addicted to spending money on clothes, but then they get home and I dump them on the ground in my bedroom. I started though and sold some, and I know that small part of my room. Yeah. So notice the benefit you have gotten out of shopping in the past. How does shopping make you feel? Does it give you that adrenaline rush, that dopamine hit of, ooh, I got something good? How long does that last? Is it like a sugar rush that it's like a peak and a crash? Or is it a peak and a long-standing enjoyment? I have things that I've bought years ago that I still look at and I go, ooh, I still love that. Kind of like my husband. Years of a relationship and looking at him and still thinking he's cute. How lucky am I? Looking at the stuff around me being like, I bought that lampshade easily 15 years ago. I still really like that lampshade. Okay? But notice how you got decluttered. If you do not examine at least a couple of layers down why you are cluttered, your solutions will not stick. Your surface level Band-Aid will not have a long-lasting effect if there's something underneath that's always bubbling up. Okay? Now, yep, Pam is offering, I heard the other day, would you pay to replace it? And I love that thought. Yeah. Or play a game. We're always playing games here. Destination Decluttered, I like to have fun and get stuff done. So in order to get stuff done, let's make it fun. Going into your house and being like, I'm going to play department store. I'm going to go into my kitchen, and it's not my kitchen. It's a department store kitchen. Or I'm going to play estate sale. I'm not in my house. I'm using my imagination, and I'm in somebody else's house. And I am going through and saying, what are some things that I would not buy if this was an estate sale? And the things that I would not buy, ironically, I'm going to put in a basket, and then maybe I can give them away. What are the clothes that I want? If I was playing Saks Fifth Avenue in my closet, what are the things I would keep on the rack because I want to save them? And what are the ones that would not make the cut? Yeah, and this is cool. Maria is noticing, I'm happy I am home alone, so I don't have any judgments. And I do know what you mean. Yeah. Notice the only person who can make a decision about what you want is you. Other people will try to influence you. The best thing you can do is start to listen to yourself and get a connection between you and what you want. When you are more clear and more strong on what you want, you can hear what other people say, but still do what you want. I hear you, but I'm still going to do my thing. Thank you for that advice, but no, I'm still going to buy this. Okay? Kim Jenner, last day of school. School's out for summer. I love it. I am eternally a little kid. I will always be delighted on that notion of summertime, vacation, and snow days. Yay, Kim Jenner. Good stuff. Yeah. This is good. Okay. Trying to be positive for the need for taxes, yet feeling discouraged on how others spend it. Okay. L, that brings up a really good thing. Okay? So what I want to offer to you is this. This is how I look at it. I am grateful. I choose to believe that I am grateful to be able to pay taxes because there are people out there. The waste and fraud is going to be inherent in any system. You have waste and fraud in your own house, I'm sure. But what I want to offer to you is there's a lot of good that your tax dollars do for people you may never meet. If you met them, you would probably want to help them out because you're a good person. But since you can't meet everybody, taxes are a way that we can consolidate some money, and then people, loving, responsible, good-hearted people, will do things to help people that are less fortunate than us. And help us. Roads, bridges, medical, research. Don't just focus on the negative. I love the fact that I have made so much money that I am being charged taxes. I love that I have made money and I can live on what my income is while paying taxes. Okay? So it's all about how you look at it. I just look at it as a way to consolidate, and this is good. I mean, that's what any business would do. A business would do things in an efficient manner and not rely on, somebody to donate money to pave a road. Would you want GoFundMes all over the place? The reason people pay GoFundMes is because there's no infrastructure available. I think it is great that my money can help make this country a better place. Roads, bridges, people eating food, children not starving, people not sleeping on the streets, right? We think of starving children and people sleeping on the streets as third world problems. This is a third world problem in our first world. Okay? Yes. And notice the shift in words can shift how you feel. Yeah, I don't want my taxes to go to the war machine. But in order for me to also help other people, I have to trust who's in there making those decisions. I don't trust those people now. And so, you know what? I still will pay my taxes, but I won't pay them in advance. So just notice the story you tell yourself, the words you use in your head to tell yourself stuff. Yeah?
What went boom?
Hey, wait. Hold on. Huh?
Something went boom?
Well, find out. I'm in the middle of something here. I bet we got a donation or something. Not a donation. Maybe we got a thing.
Okay.
As if I'm not on live TV right here, huh? Hello.
I was in the basement, so it sounded really loud.
Okay, no. Well, you know what? Somebody probably dropped something at the front door. Let me know what it was, okay? Live. Live. Is it live or Memorex? It's totally live. I'm like, what? I'm on TV here, people. Who's your mama says hi, Cliff. Too fun. All right, come in. Come in. Say hi. Say hi to people. And tell them what it was.
Hello. And no, I don't know what it was yet. There wasn't anything at the front door. It's weird.
You know what? We have so many things piled up in the living room because of all this stuff. I bet something probably fell off a pile.
Figure out what it is.
Thank you, my dear. And now back to your regularly scheduled. Oh, my goodness. Alrighty. I don't even know. Yeah, taxes You know what? Again.
Sorry to interrupt again.
Yeah, wait. Okay, come over here. Yeah?
Yes. I have a gig I have to go to.
Okay, right.
It was a mic stand. I pulled some stuff from the garage, and the mic stand just fell tipped over.
Okay.
And I'm going to be making a little noise in the other room, just checking the...
This just in from Cliff Reports. Da, 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 da. It was just a mic stand. It wasn't anything. No new neighbors, just delivering carpets. It was just a mic stand. Oh. Oh, I crack. You know, you got to laugh at stuff because, well, I could be so mad at him and be like, oh, you ruined it. Whatever. You know? So, yeah. Welcome to life, okay? Yeah. Yeah, who tipped over the stand? I don't know. We could have ghosts. You know? He is polite. He's wicked nice. We're both wicked nice. No wonder we get along so well. Now, Kara says, some things look worse before they look better. This goes for so many things. It is true. Actually, Kara, this is a deep cut, and this is probably, nobody here will get this, but maybe you will. I don't know. Probably not because you didn't live in Boston at the time. There's a song by a band, I think it was either the Heretics or Big Catholic Guilt. I think it was the Heretics, that they used to say it's always darkest before it turns pitch black. Wicked nice, huh? Yeah, it was George. Tammy Lee says it was George, yeah. Yeah. So he is a good egg. Therapy Gal Sue says, don't we all do that? What's that boom? Yes, we do. Let's use that as an example, though. When something unexpected an unexpected boom, your nervous system goes, whoa, what's that? Because it's afraid of danger. Danger to yourself and your body and your livelihood. You know, maybe something fell. Maybe it was a bomb or a gunshot or something fell and broke. You get afraid of what it was. When you find out it was no big deal, your nervous system calms down. So notice where your nervous system is being activated by clutter. Where are you either by accident or on purpose? Yeah, I'm very sound sensitive myself too. I jump and I yip like a little dog. It's kind of funny. But then I'm like, after that initial reaction, not response, but reaction, I say, okay, wait a minute. Is it, a flurry of bullets? Is it a bunch of bombs? No. Let's go get curious what caused that so we can feel better about what it was. Calming down your nervous system. You might find the of the freak out, you may not. But if you don't, trust that everything is fine. Okay? Trust that it was no big deal and you are safe. Literally feeling safe in your nervous system. Do not underestimate that feeling and how it starts you in the right direction, or not feeling safe stops you from doing something. Yeah. Kara's Garden says, I have a hypersensitive startle reflex. I think it's because I focus so much on what I'm doing, I don't notice if somebody is coming around the corner. Yeah. Sometimes when you're what I call in the zone, and I always think I know that there's a, what's her name? I can't think of her. There's a song called In the Zone by that girl. Doesn't matter. But yes, when you're hyper focused on something and somebody startles you out of that deep thing, it can be like, wait, what? But then saying, okay, wait a minute, stopping and saying, wait a minute, wait just a sec. Is this dangerous to me? Am I safe? Am I still safe? Oh, it was just the UPS guy dropping something heavy on the thing. I am safe. It's a different thing if it's ice banging on your door, right? But luckily, you guys, we're talking about clutter here, but it's the same thing. Nervous system regulation. But doesn't that sound boring to you? I mean, it's there, but it's behind the scenes. But I want to say to you that it's just something that when you realize you can do something about it and quickly get back to feeling okay and safe, you can continue on. You're not spiraling out of control because of one thing somebody did. Okay? Reminds me of I read a shark book by a pool after Jaws, and Dad walked by and I jumped. Notice the power of your nervous system and your imagination. Yeah, you were by a pool. Da 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 da. Remember we used to play that when we were swimming around the public pool, we used to pretend that this was the shark, this was the Jaws thing. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So, Cat Roby needs some mojo. I'm going to give you some mojo. The sink specifics are eluding me. I need each of a certain size, etc. Okay. Maybe walk away from it and come back? Yeah. What do you want your destination sink? What do you want it to look like? How do you want it to function? What do you want to put in the sink? What is the sink going to be used for? I highly recommend, I should have done this. We got a new faucet to our kitchen sink. I don't know if this applies. And it's shiny chrome as opposed to like the brushed chrome. And I'm always having to shine it up. In hindsight, I could have got a brushed one, but I was afraid it would clash with the brushed steel of our sink. So there's that. Now, Maria says, oops, I missed the first part. You had things in a position that I would never use because they were hard to reach. Yeah. So notice what you want to use and put it within easy reach. Notice the things you don't want to use frequently and put them in a place that's not as easy to reach, but you're still alive. Yeah. Yeah, and notice this can have a long-term effect. The fear of harm. I had the Jaws album and I played it in a pool at night and I never went in the ocean again. Now, you could be scared. You're scared of sharks since 1975. That's okay. But if you don't want to be, you can still go in the ocean, but you'll probably get back into the ocean step by step in the shallow end, feeling safe that there are no sharks. And then you may feel better about it. I used to be afraid of dogs because I got unexpectedly bitten by one in a neighbor's house back when I was in second grade. So for quite a number of years, I was afraid of dogs. But I will share with you, the way I was brought up was encouraged me to continue to be afraid. So I grew up as a fraidy cat. Now I learn these things and I can do different things. Just because something happened once doesn't mean it's going to happen again. Afraid of getting married a second time. You just saw that cutie patoot. If I said that happened once and therefore sharks are in the ocean and all the guys are jerks, I would never be married for 23 years. It's so funny. I'm getting confused with how long we've lived here. To this little cutie patoot in the other room. So notice you can choose to believe that sharks are going to be in the ocean and you can choose to never put your toe in. Or you can choose to experiment with how it feels to get your feet wet. Notice that, getting your feet wet, even that idea. Walking in slowly, just getting your feet wet and then acclimating. Yeah, my husband will not swim in the ocean because of Jaws. Literally, we live 3 minutes from the beach. Yeah, and it is a combo of what's up here and what's down here. I know it's just a movie, but that scared the shit out of me. I want to keep myself safe. One of the ways I can keep myself safe from sharks is by not going in the ocean. Until sharks grow feet and then they start walking, But when you become aware of the stories behind what you do and how they affect your life, you have a choice of what you do or not. Your husband is choosing to do that. And, really PTSD after that movie. I remember seeing it. I still go in the ocean, though. I am mindful, though. It's not like you walk down a darkened alley when you see people nebulous people. You don't go in when there are sharks, but you keep your eye open for danger and you have fun in the meantime. Okay? And Kara, notice your husband is reinforcing his justification for not going in the water. Now I know the water's getting warmer and up in mass. There's a lot more sharks than there used to be, or they're getting closer. So being mindful and making a choice that feels good to you. That's what we do with decluttering. We have certain places where we stop. I stopped going into the ocean. I haven't gone in the ocean since 1975. Cat Mama is right there with him. Yelling at the TV also helps. Yeah, right. And notice where you stop with decluttering. I'm always going to bring it back. I am like a jazz musician who will go out on a thing, but I will always come back to the root note. which is going to be decluttering, because I just looked up and we only have 5 minutes left of this TikTok live. Boy, a lot of things have happened, right? But I say to you, all of this we're talked about. You're afraid of sharks, so you don't go in the water. You're afraid of something, so you don't declutter that. You know? Yeah, and Kara goes in to her knees, swimming in jetties. Good God, it's cold now. Yeah, see, that's one of the reasons I choose not to go into the ocean. Not because I'm afraid of sharks, but I don't like being cold. I don't. I don't feel that at this age I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life. But boy, do I love the beach, and boy, do I love the ocean, more so than lakes. But notice, we have certain places where we stop certain things. Where have you stopped decluttering? Where have you stopped and then found a way to move forward and just get your feet wet? That's what I'm here for, to help you with that. If you want to. I'm not going to pull you in. No, I stand there offering lessons. I can show you how to get in if you want. Those people who want to will step up and say, yes, help me. Others are still going to be too afraid to even acknowledge that they have a fear or they're stuck. But I'm still going to show up anyway. Kind of like I know I'm not for everybody, but I'm for enough people that I show up, and I'm always offering to help declutter, because you're going to notice where fear is causing you to make decisions that if you didn't have that fear in you, might possibly make another decision. Okay. Now, speaking of decisions, this is one, and this is a skill I want you to get better at if you so choose. I'm going to show you how to have another hour of this kind of interaction, or maybe better. Because in about 7 minutes, you and I, or whoever wants to join me, I am going over to, there we go, continue Destination Decluttered live for another hour, but it's going to be on the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel and not here on TikTok. Okay? Back-to-back scheduled Beth Blinders. There we go, Kat Roby. Everybody feel free to take a break, go pee, do whatever, carry me on your phone to someplace else. There we go. All right, Cat Mama. So we can't get into it now. Notice how I'm metaphorically swimming over to the shallow end so I can step out of this pool and get into another one. So notice, everybody. Where are you? What do you still need to declutter? Write it down on a piece of paper, ideally in a cheapo spiral-bound notebook, because I will not be selling fancy retro roadmap. Listen to me. Destination Decluttered ones. Write down where you're stuck decluttering and show up with your notes in about 2 minutes at Destination Decluttered on YouTube. And we can help with that. Today is 6/10/2025. That is going to be the 12 p.m., right? Yeah. YouTube Live. Now, I'm setting it up as you're still on the phone with me, because we learned the hard way that sometimes YouTube is unstable. And once I remember shutting it off and saying, I'll meet you over there, and it didn't work, and I had to come back, and I left some people in the lurch. But this looks like it's working. Okay? Oh, yeah, Kara. Hey, for something different, it's pouring. We had a torrential downpour today. Torrential. So you know what I was psyched about? I got to wear my fancy raincoat. Also, even when it was torrentially pouring, I got a parking spot underneath the building of my doctor's office. So I bet you as a gardener are psyched about hopefully some of this. I mean, it is a bit much, but it's crazy. I'm going to make a waterfall visit video. There you go. Awesome. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to sign off now, so I hope you didn't just tune in and I'm sadly kind of making my exit. But in case you did, what I want to offer to you is this. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach, and most importantly, my coaching is called Destination Decluttered, just like a road trip. Destination Decluttered. I do TikTok lives, of which I just finished up almost an hour. I am about to do an hour on a YouTube live at Destination Decluttered on YouTube. Follow over there. It's fun. I do one-on-one paid coaching. I also do, and so you can sign up for that if you want. I also do decluttering parties. Today's only Tuesday. We have one on Thursday morning. You can find out about that on my website. All of these TikTok lives and YouTube lives, you may have just inadvertently run across me, but they are scheduled at specific times, and I show up at those specific times. That specific schedule, I call the TV guide portion of the show, and the TV guide for my TikTok lives and YouTube lives is on a page that you can also get when you sign up for my mailing list. And you sign up for the mailing list at destinationdecluttered.com, and then you get access to all sorts of paid stuff, free stuff, good stuff, okay? But I'm going to do this. I'm going to sign off now. And I'm going to turn on the YouTube, okay? Come over and join me, won't you? And I'll see you there, or I'll see you another time. I hope this was helpful. All right? Bye.